Hey everybody, Minnesota Boy here. You know, normally I like to do my geocaching in a place like this. This is a nice nature preserve trail. I think there's some physical geocaches in here, and that's normally what I like doing. But today I'm going to be searching out some virtual caches. And why am I doing that, you ask? I'm going to be searching out some virtual caches because it is the Geo Challenge of the month. What? You don't know what the Geo Challenge of the month is? The Geo Challenge of the month is put out by Cache Advance and the Geocaching Vlogger, and together they work to give us a challenge every month. Well, except for a break in the winter, but we'll give them that. So every month, except for that break in the winter, there is a geocaching challenge to perform, and usually it's to find something specific, type of geocache, or near something specific like a bridge, or near something like a historical place or a mural. There's been all kinds of great challenges. The one for this month, November 2024, is to find a virtual geocache. Well, I've got a bunch of virtual geocaches in the Twin Cities metro area that I haven't done, so we'll do like 4 virtual geocaches today so that you can see what virtual geocaches are like. And we're going to start with one that you might recognize if you saw Josh's video about the geocaching challenge of the month. So let's go find it. Okay, so most virtual caches in the description will tell you what you need to do in order to fulfill finding that virtual cache. For this snowman here, the Geocaching Vlogger had asked us to take a picture of ourselves with the snowman or with another item like your GPS or something that just shows you were here by taking the photo, and then answer a question off of the informational sign that's on the other side of the snowman. As you can see, this snowman overlooks very busy highway, and that's why it's kind of noisy here. So on to the next virtual cache. Thanks, Joshua, for this one. I don't know if many of you don't know that Minneapolis, St. Paul used to have one of the largest streetcar systems in the country. It spanned from east to west and north to south across the entire Twin Cities metro, all the way out to the lakes in Minnetonka and way up to White Bear Lake. It was a wide-ranging system, and this was one of the very cool stations of that system. You see that nice stone building over there, and this bridge that I'm standing on. And this bridge that I'm standing on was just a pedestrian bridge to get over the tracks that used to run underneath this bridge. Now it's just a bike trail. One of the great things about virtual geocaches and why they exist in geocaching is because you can have them where you can't really hide a physical cache. Geocaching is mostly about finding containers of one kind or another. You sign a logbook inside that container that proves you were there, and then you log it online. Virtual caches, there's no containers to find, nothing to place on site. So sensitive locations like this historical location, you can still have a geocache. You can have a virtual geocache that you just have to show up, answer some questions, maybe take a photo, but it doesn't leave anything on site. So it's easy to maintain and doesn't disturb the historical nature of something like this, which is pretty cool to see. Okay, I'm at my 3rd virtual cache location. This one is at the All Veterans Memorial in the city of Bloomington, Minnesota. And it honors all veterans of all wars from the United States here. Lots of names on the walls back here and things, but specifically in the middle, there's a statue of Charles Chuck W. Lindbergh. As you can see that statue right there. Now, he was one of the first Marines to place a flag at Iwo Jima when that battle was taking place and they captured the island. The first flag that was placed there, he was part of that group. Now, the famous photo that everybody knows, and here's that famous photo, that's actually of the second flag that was placed at the top of Iwo Jima, Mount Suribachi it was called. And that was after the island was kind of secured and they went back to place a bigger, more prominent flag there. And that's what that famous photo is about. But the first flag that was placed there, Charles Chuck W. Lindbergh from here in Minnesota, was part of that group that placed that flag at the top of Mount Suribachi. Another great use for a virtual geocache is a place like this, a Veterans Memorial. Certainly don't want to put a physical cache here. You want to be respectful of the memorial itself, but a virtual cache here is a great thing because it brings people here to find the virtual cache, but also then to honor those that have served in the military here in the United States, and many of whom have given their lives. So another great use of a virtual cache. So that fourth virtual geocache that I visited today was a burial site of an ancient culture here in Minnesota. They estimate probably put there between 900 and 2,500 years ago. There's kind of a long range of those burial mounds here in Minnesota. They were usually placed along the rivers. That one is just at the top of the kind of the ridge or the cliffside from the river, and so great place for it. And so that was a really unique use of a virtual cache because that's private property. Probably never going to go there on my own, but you can walk by it on the public sidewalk. So good use of that there too. Had a great time today visiting 4 different virtual caches. If you want to try out virtual caches, it's not that hard to do. You just download the geocaching app on your phone and give them a try. You can filter for them specifically, so you eliminate all the other types of caches if you want, and just look for the virtual caches. Go out and give it a try. It's a pretty easy way to get into geocaching. And of course, I was doing this thing about virtual caches because it is the Geocaching Challenge of the Month put on by Cache Advance and the Geocaching Vlogger. If you want to check out Josh's video about this month's challenge, I'll put it in the description below so that you can go and check out his video about this specific challenge and maybe look at the ones in the past that we've done as well. Thanks for coming along with me on this trip to visit some virtual caches. I'm now on another gorgeous trail here. Maybe find a physical cache before I go. Never know. Anyway, thanks for coming along. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and hit the like button below so that you don't miss any of the great videos I make about geocaching and the game of Munzie. So we'll see you next time on my next adventure of geolocation gaming. Don't miss it. Bye.